Spartan Nation, what's going on? This is Q the Woodshed, Cam the super cool Spartan, with my brother Brian, super duper mad Spartan.
Oh, okay.
And our buddy from ZILLA Sports Network, Quapo, the super connected Spartan. He's so mad. He's not even wearing Spartan gear. He's got on the Lions gear. That's how mad. That's how mad he is.
They brought me joy this weekend, so I went with the joy right now.
They whooped up on the Packers.
They're trying to give me a trip to New Orleans is what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to do. Give me a trip to New Orleans, because best believe if those boys get to the Super Bowl, I will be dancing on Bourbon Street.
It's going to be a Michigan takeover for sure, especially from Detroit.
Yeah,
we're going to see all of the buffs and the Coogee sweaters. Well, from the old heads, the Coogee sweaters and the Stacey Adams Gators.
Coogee will be in my bag for sure, and buffs. Coogie's and buffs.
So,
the Spartans.
Yes. Yeah. This was what. I don't even know what
we
to
got
say.
Our butts kicked. is a nice way to put it.
Yeah, we got our ish pushed in.
Yes, very much so.
Got it pushed in, like very far up, just super brutal.
Well, we found out about Indiana, and we were not up to par with them.
No, not at all.
Those are initial thoughts.
Yeah,
try again.
Those are initial thoughts. Just
try again.
Yeah,
just
thoughts.
Hey,
when he was like playing Nintendo, back when he's playing Contra, up, down, left, right. Let's try again. That one came out. Try again.
Wow, Contra.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite games too. Back in the
that game was dope.
Super Nintendo days.
Yeah, that game
was regular dope. Nintendo. It was on. That's
regular Nintendo.
8
okay.
8-bit.
8-bit Nintendo with Duck Hunt and the
that was our
Duck Hunting a lot.
That was our 8-bit offense yesterday. Tecmo Bowl offense, man. That was a Tecmo Bowl offense right there.
It started off good.
It started off so good. Initial thoughts. It was started off good, man. Like, we were so excited. We were in the stadium. The group was together. Q the Woodshed was in the building.
It was in the building, Spartan Stadium.
And then the wheels fell off the bus. 47 straight points.
Completely obliterated.
Yeah, yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Dude's getting hurt.
Let's get into it. Well, we did our initial thoughts. Let's just good Sparty, bad Sparty. Which one do you want to go to?
Just bad Sparty. It might just be all bad.
No. The catch was even though it was opposite side of us. If you go back and look at that catch on replay, that man Nick Marsh,
was bad man.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That was
a Superman cape for real.
NFL catch right there. I mean, that was probably the best Sparty of all. It was his performance. I mean, scoring that touchdown. But other than that, the weather was nice.
Enough.
The weather was nice until the sun went down, and then, man, it just to me it was a disappointing performance in the sense that, we started off so well, but even going into the game, I felt like the guys were focused. We talked about pre-show, like, was there a Michigan hangover? That wasn't what we saw. We saw two different schools at different phases of the rebuild, and we are. Some of our viewers have talked about sometimes we may be at least me might be a sunshine blower. Really, what I think it really brought home was this rebuild is going to take a lot longer than I thought, and I thought we were there. We've been close in all but 2 games, so 7 out of 9. but those differences in terms of the attrition we have on some of the, some of the offensive defensive line, our secondary now, our linebacker, we don't go deep enough to compete with these big boys in this modern era of college football. And so, what we saw with Indiana is a quick turnaround. A coach knew what he was going to do. He brought his people in. 16 players in, 13 of them starters. A lot of them from JMU, and they just came in and took us to the woodshed.
Yeah, they did for real.
Quickly. Once they figured out what we were doing, figured out our rhythm, it was a wrap. They were like, "Oh, this is how you're gonna play us? Gotcha." Underneath and see ya, and the only good Sparty really to me was Nick Marsh in that game. I mean, offensive line didn't do much. Defensive line got no pressure. Hey, man.
To your point, I think that's the thing we harped on at the beginning of the year too, is the lines, our offensive, defensive lines, just not up to par. We thought the defensive line was a nice surprise at the beginning of the year, and they've been solid. They've been good, but they don't get to the quarterback, and that's hard. That's been apparent, and that it's hurt us the last 2 games. Is we cannot affect the quarterback at all when we need to.
And
no pressure,
right?
And again, we're at the game live. Work had all day to throw the ball,
all day.
No pressure, just sitting there patting the ball, sitting around. And there are times like, okay, Chuck Bradley had a great game going on defensively.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had 2 or 3 pass breaks right at the beginning. So the defensive backs were sticking like glue. But again, you're watching the game like, okay, well, yeah, that was like 7 seconds he had back there. If we keep giving somebody 7 seconds with no pressure, not even a whiff, not even feeling uncomfortable, he probably, Work probably got scared that it was taking too long. Like, I don't even see nobody around me. Maybe something's wrong. And so, again, we got picked apart. We had the defense goes, gets 2 or 3 and outs, stops them, and then, like to your point, they ran off 47 things on us, and it was quick.
Yeah, the body was cold before it hit the floor.
Yeah, riddled with bullets.
I remember we were at the stadium. We're talking like, hey, we're in close to getting blown out, and they put that last touchdown. We all said they could probably score 50 on us. They didn't score 50, but they were very close to doing it.
Oh yeah. I'll say another good Sparty is our seats. Thanks to the Super Connected Spartan, got those great seats for us.
Yeah,
touchdown.
Man, that was good. Right.
Yeah.
We had 1 touchdown. Well, it wasn't our side, but yeah.
Got a chance to see some of the usual people up close. Saw Alan Haller on the field and Jehu Korick doing his thing, promoting Meyer. Shout out to him, helping out Meyer there with the ads, and Javon Ringer. We saw him on the sideline. Looks like he was
Tom
doing his
Izzo
thing.
was there at the beginning too.
Yeah, the Izzo was in the building. So great seats thanks to ZILLA Sports Network.
Doing our thing. We're gonna be more present as the years roll on with the show. We'll be in there more, and it's really difficult in that setting. There's a lot of those guys you name that are friends of the Connected Spartan, but like I liken it to my day job. In the office setting, it'd be like me sitting at a computer trying to put out a memo, and somebody's like, "Hey, what's up? For a lot of our friends, because they're associated with the program, it's kind of tough on game day to agree. You might get them for like 30 seconds. Like you said, Jehu game over, and shout out to Jehu. We'll get Jehu on the show probably in the off season.
For sure. Yeah.
He's doing radio spots, and we're like, "Oh, what's up?"
Other than that, everything was just all bad. Other than that, the 47 unanswered points, couldn't get no pressure. on the defense, pass rush, turnovers, injuries, unfortunately to Childs and Brantley and Spencer.
Yeah. To name a few, there's probably some other nicks and that. I mean, the bye week, I mean, we unless we want to keep going down this bad train, because I think everybody that's watching our show watched that nonsense, and so they understood what happened. But if you want to go to Word on the Street, we can go to the Word on the Street, because I've been trying to get a hold of some of these guys today, but as you would expect, it's been a little difficult.
Yeah, I mean,
might as well go.
Right.
The show is what it was. It wasn't even close. This wasn't even like the Ohio State or Oregon. This is the worst loss this year, obviously.
Yeah, I think it was the worst loss this year. I mean,
worse
than Oregon, worse than Ohio State. Even though you were outclassed there, you were outclassed in a different way in this game. And so it's not, I mean, to me, it's not, it's just like, there's no analysis.
An alarming stat I saw was that the rushing yards, which was negative, this was like the second worst in like team history yesterday.
It was like 7 sacks and 15 tackles for loss. Like
what
nothing.
What?
Well, and this is the thing we talked about pre-show, like from a skill position perspective. So we look at quarterback. We've talked all season long about the difficulties there, even though there's some upside to be had. Running back, I think I'm back on the Nate Carter train, but he has no room to run. Like he can't. He's not Barry Sanders.
Right.
He has no room to run. He is a really good running back. We saw that against Michigan. We talked about the receiving core. Nick Marsh is a special talent, but Foster's a good receiver. Glover is a receiver. Johnson. I mean, the skill position players they have, and we talked about the secondary all season. Like they have guys good enough where they shouldn't be 4 and 5. They probably should be, 6 and 3, right, at worst right now. It's really this is what they should be. They have enough.
Should have beat Michigan. Should have beat Boston College.
Yeah, I mean, so it's really just difficult. And again, we don't have room for error with this squad. The bye can't come at a better time just to kind of get their heads right. Coming off 2 straight losses like this. And then, obviously last week was a winnable game. This week, maybe not so much, but
felt insurmountable.
It's just really, and it's interesting how folks treat the portal, right? I mean, the way Indiana treated the portal versus the way we treated the portal. We went in there, we brought 67 new people in here, but a lot of our guys I think are on the younger side, and Indiana got some of the older veterans in the mix, and I don't know which way is right. I mean, Indiana's fast approaching, even with a loss, they probably still have a outside shot to be in the playoff.
I think they make the playoffs if they only have one loss. Because how can you, if their one loss is to Ohio State, it is going to be Ohio State and Oregon in the Big Ten championship. Okay.
Right.
If Oregon beats Ohio State again and they have 2 losses, are you going to keep Indiana out?
Right.
So that becomes the argument right now. Like, hey, Indiana might hang with Ohio State. They're good.
Yeah, they're good.
I'm convinced now. I've seen it. They're good and they're good.
I am convinced too. I don't think I was, because again, we have the what was the coach before? Tom. Oh, I can't think of his name. Tom Allen. Yes. We have the Tom.
He's the DC for at Penn State now.
Well, and that says something. I can't repeat what I said about Ryan Day versus James Franklin, but it's it is not a mental challenge with either of those two gentlemen trying to play. But we've gone off topic. If you want to go back to Word on the Street, we can.
Yeah, let's do Word on the Street.
Golly, because well, someday we might be
word on the street. Is there any word on the street?
Yeah, the word on the street is the bias. From again, I tried to get some of those injured guys. I was, just trying to reach out to them and see how they're doing. They have not responded, but that makes sense. They're probably rehabbing or not in the mood to talk, which I understand that too.
Right.
So they're like, "Oh man, stop sending me notes." Like, but I think just some of the folks associated with the program that I have been able to get with today, just talking about the bye being a very needed element for this team. Refocus. I mean, you saw what they did coming off the last bye, right? Played really well against Iowa, got the win there. So I'd expect a lot of film study, a lot of time in the training table, just in the training room, and just try to prepare to go down to Champaign, get one win closer to bowl eligibility. It's not going to be easy, but Illinois can be had, Purdue can be had after that, and so can Rutgers.
But we can be had as well.
Yeah. Oh, we saw. We saw. Yeah.
Keep turning the ball over 2-3 times a game, and that's.
Well, and so here's the thing. We hope Aiden can be healthy because, I'm sure Tommy Schuster is a great kid. He's a great guy, whatever. But, you read some of this message board stuff and you talk about.
I was just getting ready to say, like, the message board was, we should sit Charles and see what Schuster's at. I was like, okay, you guys will get your wish. I'm not saying Schuster's bad. He's done a lot of great things for other programs.
Yeah.
But he looks very different from the other players on the field sometimes.
Yeah.
He spent most of his time on his back getting sacked.
And I said it before. I said, if Child's hurt, and I'm thank goodness that Child's and all of them are expected to come back relatively soon. I know Smith said that Childs he'll be definitely back for Illinois because just think about how many times that the line kind of breaks down and Childs escapes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that with Schuster. And he's got the first time he got in the game, third down. He couldn't even get the ball away. So this team is not built for someone who can't escape the pocket. That's just the long and short of it.
Correct.
So I hope the message board warriors will keep that thought inside their head when they get mad about the team and say, hey, we're rocking with Aiden Childs because you'd rather have him than somebody else. And we just hope that he continues to progress in the right direction. I think we've seen a lot more good than bad more recently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's so many other teams that would, even with the turnovers he makes, we saw it on display on the first couple of drives, right? He's making plays with his feet. He's making that throw in a place where only Nick Marsh can make that catch. Like, he has the physical tools. What he's going to need to do this offseason, right, is number one, not transfer, right? I don't think that would be smart.
Yes, please. Has to collect around for him and Marsh.
I mean, he's going to have to work tirelessly. I'm not saying he didn't this past year, but, it's coming over here from the West Coast and all that stuff. Now you're acclimated. Now the expectations are higher, my friend. And so you really got to commit off season, pretty much whenever this season ends. It's take a couple weeks to just kind of get your body right. And then it's in the gym working out where he's got to probably get stronger, and it's watching film tirelessly. So the picture, like I was talking when we were in the stadium yesterday, the picture just seems too much for him. He's not seeing the whole picture when the field is scanned. Like it's a receiver and he locks on. Okay, that one's covered. He doesn't go through the progressions quick enough and make and just take what the defense gives you. Going back to the Lions, you see someone like Jared Goff, who to me probably doesn't have the same arm talent that Aiden Childs has, right? But he just figures out a way to manage and he's a pro. He's been a pro 10 years, Super Bowls, all that stuff. But he just finds a way in this offense with Ben Johnson to maximize what he can do and not do what he can't do, right? I was listening to crazy Tom Brady talk, but it's true at that position, right? Some people, are Patrick Mahomes. Some people are Jalen Milroe, right? They have this freakish ability, and then some people are processors. But what you have is someone like Lamar Jackson that can do both, right? He's a physical freak, but also is now able to process and take what's there when it's not there. And again, you're not comparing Childs to Jackson, but like that's what you want him to progress to, is to a place where he can take little chunks, sometimes just take the ball, tuck in and run, sometimes take the 5-yard dump off, and then hit the big plays. Not everything has to be a big splash play,
Yes.
For the gram, right? Or for TikTok. Like, just take what read the what's in front of you, and then just take what's given to you, and just so the team can move the chains and then get down in scoring position.
I think that's why
I wanted to.
I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Go ahead, Brian. No, I was just going to, since we've talked up about this debacle of a game, I just wanted to go back to something that you said, Quafo, in terms of the rebuild, because this was a conversation that me and Brian had very recently, and then maybe earlier in the season, is the number of, I guess it is how long do you think Jonathan Smith has or will have in terms of getting the team where we want it to be? And the reason I was asking is because throughout the college football landscape, with the transfer portal and now the NIL, do coaches have, a certain limited amount of time to get their programs to be successful? Or it's like, you know what, after 1 or 2 years, maybe if you have this thing humming by year 3, hey, you're out, we're going to bring in the next guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any inside baseball that, I think everyone is still very much happy with the hire. I think Jonathan Smith fits East Lansing and fits Spartan football. He's definitely not in any kind of hot seat. So message board warriors, you can sit down. I think they'll give him, I would say 3-4 years, but definitely by year 3, games like yesterday can't happen, and we should be in the upper echelon. It's a 12-team playoff, right? So by year 3, which is 2 years from now, you should expect Michigan State to be making noise to be that 11th or 12th team in the mix, be ranked, be in the mix, because that's 2 recruiting classes plus whatever magic you can do in the transfer portal. So I would say, and given just what I know about A.D. Haller, I don't think he acts hastily on this type of stuff. So we're not even anywhere close to a position where, some of the keyboard warriors, we got the wrong hire. No, you didn't. You got the right hire. It just takes time. And, I'm probably talking out of both sides of my mouth because I just said Kurt Signetti at Indiana has got this thing switched, turned around in 1 year. However, let's see what Indiana is. That's what we were talking about pre-show. Let's see what Indiana is next year. Let's see what Michigan State is next year, right? Because the way we're building it's like 2 different paths you're building. And so I have full faith and confidence. The administration has full faith and confidence. Coach Smith, he's good. Now if we have, 3-4 losing seasons, I mean, in today's day and age, with the ticket prices and the expectation of donors and NIL and payment of players, like it's going to start being like the NFL, and you're not going to get. It's going to be 3 and out, if you can't get a turnaround. But in this particular situation with this particular coaching staff, that's not even remotely. It would have to be either some kind of gross malfeasance, right? Doing something crazy, which is no indication he's going to do that, or just consecutive losing. We're talking about year 4 and we're 2-7. All right, well, that
was more extreme than I was thinking. But yeah, to your point, because like I said, me and Ken already talked about it. I'm on board with you the same way, Quafo. 3 years in, we should be sniffing the playoffs or in the mix, and then I think that's where we should be at.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's your point about Indiana, how they built fast, for their rebuild. Smith took a lot of transfer guys, but he took, more, like you said, younger guys that expected to play there. Hey, we want you to come in, want you to learn, and then we want you to get on the field. We know you have a little bit of experience, you got your feet wet already, and that's a 2-year deal. Because you expect those guys, at least by that Jonathan Smith's third year, to be, hey, this is your fourth year in college, essentially. So you would expect them to have some type of, leg up. So we'll see. I'm happy with the hire. Anybody who says that, oh man, this is bad, we made the wrong guy, I'm like, no, that's utterly ridiculous. Yeah, it would feel good to be 9-0 right now. Let's not kid ourselves. But at the same time, I think our record would be better if we played the same schedule as Indiana. Will we be undefeated? Probably not. But I think we would only have one loss, maybe 2 losses. So we're already bowl eligible at that point. That'd be great first season. So again, I think expectations, we've already said it. Most people with sense had this team 6-6, 7-5, 8-4. Like, oh yeah, that's where we kind of think we see the range of it being at.
We're still in range.
We're on schedule for that. I know it's getting a little more tight than we would all like it. And Indiana, gave us a strict beat down that puts a little shake in your confidence. But there's still a little light at the end of the tunnel.
For sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with both you guys. I think that MSU got the right guy, and in this world of college football where everything is so fast and it's like putting in a TV dinner in a microwave. Everyone wants that instant success. And some programs like Indiana, it's been happening for them, and most college football programs it doesn't. So it's going to be, a slow burn. It's going to take, some time. I do agree by year 3, because that'll probably be Child's last year as the quarterback. That's the year you should definitely be talking about being in contention for something, because by that time, like you said, Quafo, 2 years in with the recruiting class, and by that time it will be much better, much better, field leader on the field.
The trend of up
hopefully
continues, because he's been going up. I know everybody gets a little down about the turnovers, but for the most part, last few games he's been more good than bad. I'll say it again.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll keep the train moving here, unless you guys want to dissect the bye week.
No, besides being much needed. It comes at the right time. It comes at the right time.
They on the schedule.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, all right, let's get on to the fun football fact here. I can, stump you guys once again, even though
you can't say stump.
Past couple of weeks,
getting it right the last 3 4 weeks.
I've been getting it right the last few weeks here. So
exactly.
Let's see what you guys come up with this time.
Okay.
The MSU Fun Football Fact, sponsored by us.
No.
But we are looking for sponsors, so by all means, hey, come talk to us. All right, here's the question, gentlemen. What coach has led MSU to a 12-game winning streak? Is it George Perlis, Duffy Doherty, or the legend himself, Mr. Mark D'Antonio? Which coach has led MSU to a 12-game winning streak during their tenure?
Well, it's process elimination. It ain't George.
Green and white.
Mr. Perlis. Got to meet him when I was younger, so we'll rest in peace on Mr. Perlis. It's not him. Duffy was great, but they played less games.
You say D'Antonio 12? Like, doing 12 in a row?
It's a trick, though. right? Because
Yeah.
even in those wins, those seasons that, the Rose Bowl season, there's one loss, right? So was it, what they go 13-1 that year? The Rose Bowl year
Yes.
with 13-1?
They did go 13-1.
And
But
then maybe
does it count? Is it just in one season or just in a row?
he just said in a row.
12-game win streak in a row.
I'm gonna go with D'Antonio then, because in a row, if you go that 13 season, Notre Dame was like the third game.
I'm gonna go Duffy Gordon. I'm gonna go Duffy.
I'm gonna go D'Antonio. I know it seems too easy, but I'm just gonna roll with it.
Well, ding, 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 ding. Ryan gets it right.
Sorry, Coach D. Sorry, Coach D. Sorry, Coach D. If I see him, he's going to be like, dude, are you stupid? I'm like, no, Coach D. I just, I had the right logic, and then I doubted myself because I'm like, did they, I'm thinking that Rose Bowl season, right? The winning it, or even the Cotton Bowl season, and they probably did do 13, 14, 15 in a row when you
because they lost to Notre Dame. They win all those games there. Then they didn't lose a game until 14 lost to Oregon. Oregon was like the third or fourth game. So that's like that's like 12.
That's 15 right there, yeah.
So according to good old Google, it says that D'Antonio is the only MSU coach to have a 12-game winning streak in Spartan football history. Says that the streak began on November 15th, 2014, and ended on November 7th, 2015.
Well, so I was in the wrong year. Yikes.
It's a playoff. It's a playoff year. It's not the Rose Bowl year.
Yeah, because in the year they went to the playoff, they only lost one game, I think, that whole season.
Right.
Well, technically two, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all right, that makes sense because they lose to, in 2014, the last loss was to Ohio State. And so from the Ohio State game until Nebraska, yeah.
And that was a game that should have won, but that was a fluky game.
Shout out to Coach D, man. I'm sorry. When I see you, I'm gonna be like, Coach D, I messed up, bro. I messed up. Shout out.
Yes,
to
the winningest coach in Spartan football history. Also, the only coach to have a 12-game winning streak. So
it seemed too easy, right? Like that's why.
Yeah, just go. Like nah, Coach D. Of course, it's Coach D, but
yeah, sometimes the easy answer is the right answer. It was Coach D.
Yes, sometimes the obvious answer is the correct one, Mr.
Right.
Connected Spartan.
That's true.
So, well, we come to that time once again, gents. Cue the woodshed. It's powered by ZILLA Sports Network. Anything else good for the cause here as we enter another bye week, a much-needed bye week?
Just 2 more victories. Let's make a bowl.
Yes.
Let's just make a bowl, please.
We have 3 games left and 3 chances to make it happen.
Yeah, a bowl game would be nice. It would be a nice reward for, this transitional season. So here's hoping the guys get healthy.
Right.
Hoping, none of these injuries are severe. Obviously we talked about during the game, at least my relationship with some of these guys, and I everybody has their different opinions on it, but really for me, I actually care about these young men, more beyond what they do on the field. So I really, yesterday you guys probably saw me. I'm like, man, this is all my guys is getting hurt one after another. So it's kind of actually really impactful to me when these guys actually, getting hurt. And so we don't want to see that. We want them to be healthy and on the field. So yeah, bye week comes at a good time. Hopefully get healed up, iced up, son, like Steve Smith used to say, and then perform well down at Champaign.
Yes, and before we go, I want to give a shout out to the basketball team because I believe the basketball season starts tomorrow, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Tomorrow.
We'll see. We'll
see.
Yes, the quest for the Final Four begins tomorrow.
Please, can we
the
get
Final
back
Four.
to the Final Four? Please.
Well, yes, the championship too. Yes.
Yeah.
So but shout out to the Izone, but to get his thing on with the basketball season.
A lot of tough teams in the country. A lot of the transfer portals hits basketball just as much as football. So we shall see. Michigan State, I like it. They're laying in the weeds. People are like, oh man, they're not Final Four Big Ten caliber. These are the years that are great for Spartan basketball. They just
when they're when they're overlooked.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. It'll be a fun ride. We have to figure out if we cue the Izone. Figure out if we cue the Izone.
Yeah, we got to figure something out there. So, all right, gents, cue the woodshed. Ken, the super cool Spartan. Got my brother Brian, the super mad Spartan. Got Quaffo, the super connected Spartan. ZILLA Sports Network. Make sure you guys follow us on YouTube. Check us out on Spotify, Amazon Music, all these streaming podcasting platforms. We're everywhere like the Matrix. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We are everywhere. We're getting to doing our giveaway game now, and I mean we in there. We definitely try to connect with the fans because trying to make it happen with y'all. Spartan Nation. So, all right, y'all, we are out. Go green.
Go white.